So they'll be calling you a radical, so here we go. So one of the greatest criminals in human history, I mean, this is a hardcore, one of the great criminals of all time. Biden is going to name the climate coordinator, aka the climate czar, Gina McCarthy. Let's review. I've been in the tide pools all night, past dark. Got them done up in La Jolla. I was out here in PB, met some people doing some work. I mean, it's a catastrophe. This is one of the great catastrophes of all human history. What's happened the last 10 years to this ocean. When Fukushima happened, Gina McCarthy was head of Radnet. What's Radnet? Radnet is the radiation detection network across the United States that we got bolstered big time post 9/11 to detect radiation from a nuclear attack, aka a bomb, dirty bomb, the 9/11 paranoia, a dirty bomb. But reality, Radnet was put in effect in its inception for a nuclear accident, a nuclear meltdown, whether it be domestically or foreign. There was always, including myself, you could play back the tape, Your Honor. I did lecture after lecture for decades. Where's it going to happen? Screaming about it. Fukushima, Japan. Diablo Canyon. San Onofre. I'll be at the reactor tomorrow. So, Radnet's in place. Your taxpayer money. Spent billions, especially post 9/11, which are basically radiation detection devices all over this land. When Fukushima happened, it got leaked to me that day. I'm screaming ahead. It took me a year and a half to convince anybody this was one meltdown, by the way. I got leaked in Sacramento a Radnet dish that was picking up plutonium, cesium, iodine, all the usual suspects within several hours of the earthquake. It used to be on one of my videos where, remember I used to do that with a pop-up in my hand? 6 years later, and that's Google software, Google takes those down. Gina McCarthy was head of Radnet, which was online source. You could go online, you could follow it, you could check it. There it is. Presto magic, bing bong bing. Radnet's taken offline. Radnet crashes. She spoke on the Hill about it. Now remember, Barbara Boxer here in California was head of the committee. She called for me. She was going crazy about Fukushima. And San Onofre, the next year in 2012, because Kevin Blanch got all that footage leaked out to the world. She wants to know why Gina McCarthy crashed Radnet, took it offline. What are the readings? Now, we freelance since. Bob Nichols has done a great job as far as reporting this, but it was a network of people, including some people right here in San Diego, myself organized it, and we freelanced. Radiation and built networks, built websites where you could track it, and these readings post Fukushima all across North America have gone psycho. Now, Radnet, she spoke on the Hill. She was subpoenaed. Why did it not work? Well, we paid contractors to do it, and they just basically didn't do it, which is a partial truth. Again, we go back to Price-Anderson, the Immunity Act, anything to do with nuclear. These people can rob, rip off, thieve, and a congressional act, there's no consequences. So, Barry Antoinette Obama let them eat yellow cake. He's so proud of Gina McCarthy committing this incredible criminal act of crashing Radnet where they don't fear the punishment. Now remember, I have the transcript from inside the Situation Room. And I'll go over to the Reagan, the Swartz building tomorrow, and I'll get an update on the USS Reagan. It's not dead. That case is not dead, even though a lot of the sailors are. Then delayed. Inside the Situation Room, they lied and lied to the public. It's been leaked out. Well, I've always had it, but I couldn't say I've been threatened with prison by putting anything forward. John Holdren, who was the head of the Science and Technology czar under Obama, he did an interview with a young lady, and then she found some videos I did, John Holdren from Hell. And so I talked her into getting a second interview, and I coached her, and she teed him up, and the fool let out classified information. Well, what about the Fukushima disaster? Well, we met for 9 hours inside the Situation Room, and we knew these were full-blown meltdowns. Well, why didn't you tell the public? Well, we had to protect the nuclear industry. Well, home, they called us back in. They sent in 32 ships to entomb it. The Reagan was right there. They wanted to dump water on it. We knew there were meltdowns. We were all arguing, but Haas Cartwright was going to be head of the chief. Yeah, that guy, the guy who leaked out the Sputnik's the Marine, the 5-star, who got found guilty for leaking state secrets, which was going to go to prison. Obama pardoned. Same as Trump pardoned Flynn, Manafort. All roads lead to the nuclear energy crime syndicate. Make it so. Radiate your own man. Kill your own man. Speaking of La Jolla, I was just there. I did an interview with a guy a year ago. His neighbor, he saw me. He says, Kevin Blanche, come here. I was hoping I'd run into you. I watched your site. You were headed here. Jehovah's Witness. He says, my neighbor was on the Reagan. He died of leukemia shortly thereafter. So many have. I was in the bone marrow transplant center with one of the young men in 2012 when I was fighting for my life with cancer. I got cancer in 2011. So Gina McCarthy, the criminal that she is, one of the great criminals of human history, did such a good job that Obama in 2012, after she'd done this great job of being the good crash Radnet, so nobody can understand what's really happening on Fukushima and protect the nuclear industry and kill it, he named her head of the EPA. Now remember, Barbara Boxer is going crazy. Now, I know Allison McFarland. I spoke to Allison McFarland in San Juan Capistrano. I was the lead speaker up, facing her. She, I confronted her. She, with full subpoena power of the United States Senate committee, Barbara Boxer, she went in her office. Her people went into the nuclear NRC, the Nuclear Rally Cheerleaders, I call them, which is supposed to be on our side. She went into their office, full staffers and all, with subpoenas, wanting this evidence that I just speaking of. Now they told them to get out. They told them to get the fuck out. That's a direct quote. Get the fuck out. Now this is the power. This is the Nuclear Regulatory Committee who's supposed to work for us. Now this is the United States Senate Committee Chair, full subpoena power. Now, by the way, I'm going to be talking to Kamala Harris about this because Kamala Harris was key on all this. She was the California AG, and when we went after the powers that be at Senate offering, got them shut down, and she raided Peavy's house. She needs to raid Gina McCarthy's house. This is going to be quite the dichotomy and quite the conflict. I knew Kamala's mother, the epidemiologist at Livermore, died of cancer in 2009. This is going to be very interesting the way this plays out. Now, on the head of the EPA, which used to be Gina McCarthy's old job, was her entire mantra and her entire job, her entire tenure, all she did was cover up Fukushima. That was her job. That's what she was told. I know this for a fact. So here comes Trump, who ends up being Obama on Balco, meets with a first person. I was there. I was at the White House in 2016 and 2020. When the election, I took the bus to New York. First one in Trump Towers was Abby, who's dying of cancer, by the way. First one on inauguration in Mar-a-Lago for days, Abby, all coaching Trump on, the Fukushima cover-up. And Trump, worse than Obama did, 4 years, never mentioned it. His EPA was even worse than Obama's. So here we go again. So, you're talking one of the greatest criminals in human history. Well, it is the greatest crime in human history, the cover-up of Fukushima. Think about just the fact that they've classified Kevin Blanche. And just Think of the fact that the Department of Energy and the NEI, the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate, hiring PR firms and trolls to attack Kevin Blanch while he's in critical condition fighting for his life. The son of a Special Forces Marine from Pendleton, gave his life for this country, all the work that I've done, and this is the thanks I get. No Katiska. So, here we go. This is going to be interesting. She's going to be the climate coordinator. So, apparently, the Biden, sliding with Biden, as they say in horse racing at Del Mar, when there's an inquiry, there'll be no change. Well, there was no change with Trump. I mean, that was the pro-nuclear porker pig that ever walked. He was worse than Obama. Well, here we go, sliding with Biden. This is disgusting. There should be some, the environmental community. Now, who the fuck is that? Greenpeace, who's nothing but a giant green washing machine? Friends of the Earth? What a clown circus. Those compromises that put Diablo Canyon, keeps blocking the closure of Diablo Canyon? Sierra Club, who promotes these nuclear BESS machines? Fukushima should have been the fucking end. Well, it is the end to a lot of species. It's the greatest fucking event in human history. Gina McCarthy is one of the key, well, if not the key, orchestrator of the cover-up of the greatest crime in human history. She's back! There'll be more on this, and I'm going to be in Kamala Harris's ear. You can bet your ass on this, like I was. Well, we saw what happened to Barbara Boxer when she took him on. Get the fuck out of her office and threatened her so bad that they forced her to resign. Kamala took her job. How convenient for the Senate offering nuclear energy crime syndicate. I'll probably be up there tomorrow at the reactor. If not there, the next day. They want to give her a mastectomy, Dolly Parton. I say just leave it there. By the way, one of the greatest accomplishments in environmental history is the closure of San Onofre. And getting that waste into the dry cast. We set the table. Kevin Blanch and some friends, we pushed that first domino over. Oh, they're done. So, sliding with Biden thinks he's going to keep the nuclear energy crime syndicate fucking cover-up going. Here we go. I mean, Obama, Trump, identical twins. Sliding with Biden. By the way, I didn't vote for the fucker. I didn't vote for either one of the fuckheads. I voted for Bernie Sanders. Why do you think the DNC screwed him? The corruption, because he's an anti-nuclear. So there'll be more on this. I'm going to dig in tomorrow. I'll probably go over to the Edward Schwartz building tomorrow. I'll get an update on the Reagan, the lead attorney, John Edwards. But I can't believe everybody holds ranks. So this is disgusting. This is appalling. You're talking one of the greatest criminals in human history. Gina McCarthy. She's back! Stay tuned.